They'll probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flow, chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yo, what up YouTube? It's your boy Zai. You already know what time it is, but today I decided to do this video outside, and it's just one of those quick videos. Like I said, I try to avoid the whole negativity thing, but it's just this dude, what's his name, Snoopy, badass. Like, it's just funny how this cat just from the beginning been, you know, basically running from different situations. Like, I watched him when he was like on Whack 100 hard, and I was like, okay, that's right, you know, somebody, a G or something that's actually gonna handle this business. I know people like to use the whole this is black business, but it's not, because as far as from what I can tell, this dude is just not in good standings at all. And it's funny, the only reason I chose to make this video is just due to the fact that at one time this dude, what, Hawthorne Pyro, got smashed out. Before that, supposedly he was a Crip, and then now he ain't from Hawthorne Pyro, but he's banging another Pyro hood in Compton. It's just like, and it's just like an ongoing thing with this dude. It's like I can't really take him serious. And at one time I actually liked this whole get down, remind me of DJ Quick, and you know I'm a huge DJ Quick fan, especially like his rap style, and I just thought he was bringing that whole West thing back. And like I said, usually I avoid certain situations as far as like people's business, but it's just funny how, you know, it always comes up with the whole, you know, Mexicans were allowed to snitch on blacks and all this other garbage. Like that has never been proven, and you're always gonna have bad apples in every organization as far as like, excuse me, people that can't hold their own. And it's proven because he's one of these cats that couldn't hold his own, because if it was anything else besides that, he wouldn't have the reputation that he has right now. And that's one for not being about his business. And it's funny, it's like, okay, yeah, you know, I was a hood hopper, transformer, but I took my fade, so that makes me good. Now that don't make you good, that just means you handed your fade because you would rather do that and take some of the heat off you than, you know, be the other side and just really don't have a pot to piss in or a rock to crawl up under. And for a lot of people already know this dude is like in banning. Then I just hear something about this dude is alleged rapist or something like that with his baby's mom, and I don't even like to put that out there, but since he wants to come on here and say that Mexicans are allowed to snitch, which is funny, because not only the first 48 and other prime examples of people breaking down in the interview room, we know the whole 72 hours, you know what I mean, they try to grill you for as long as they can, and till they either get something or they got something to lock you up on these murder charges. But from what I hear, he already snitched on somebody else. When you hear a story, he says something like, yeah, the dude that smoked some dude that he knew, this dude had him say some cockamamie story in order, like, look, I'm already gonna get found guilty, but if you could just do this and say this, and nothing he said made absolutely no sense. It did not add up. But I'm not here to address that. My whole thing is to address a hood hopper transformer, and everybody from the 80s know what a transformer was. It was the dudes that would be banging one thing, and not just a hood, because that's a hood hopper, but that would be banging like a Crip and then become a blood, or banging the blood that became a Crip. And I know a gang of fools that did it, and some of them fools are like really reputable right now and really with the business. They just were younger and thought something was different, and I'm not here to judge on the merits of that, because at the end of the day we all choose what we want to be. I'm just on here getting at this dude because once again it's another idiot that feels like he needs to speak on the homies. Which is funny, because the whole reason I chose to address it, because I usually just slide it up under the rug, because it has nothing to do with me outside of, because he can say what he wants. It's unproven. And maybe because it happened a couple of times, that, I mean, you can't even, like, if you start saying who told on who the most, like, it would just, I'm not even getting into it, because it's been an ongoing thing, you know. And it's a rarity for certain cats to even handle their business, and the ones that have are the reputable ones, but ain't many, you know what I mean, as far as like on that page willing to clean up their trash, you know. Oh, that's my homeboy. Nah, don't make no difference. And like I said, I try to avoid the negativity, because it, in the scheme of things, it really makes no sense. But I do have to get on here and address it, especially when you're speaking about the homies and speaking things that are untrue. Like, you're always gonna have cats make a million excuses why things go the way they go, but You ain't making excuses on the dudes, or you can't explain the whole first 48 thing and all this other. Like, you never see a homie in there doing nothing, telling on nothing. And any homie that has told and it's still walking the main is God. So that goes without saying. You cannot hide paperwork. Other fools might not do their paperwork, but for the people that know what time it is. That's why I said, even with my story, you cannot slip by. There's no slipping by. You will get caught up regardless. But it is what it is. To be honest, it's like I could go on a million different avenues on why things are the way they are. You know, certain cats been proven to be more willing to talk. I mean, first 48 should be proven it all, because you never see the homies on there. You never see a homie on there. You always see, you know, but then again, that's out of state, so I can't really say, you know, as far as like Los Angeles. But it's, you know, I've been locked away a few different times, and there's always that situation where these cats that don't want to handle their business, or they got homies that are rapists, they don't want to remove them from the yard, so it falls on certain individuals that may not be of the same race to remove them themselves. And like, I've seen and been in situations of that nature, but you know, I'm not here to really get on that. That's business that ain't really got nothing to do with me unless I was involved at that moment in time. And even if I was, there's no need to put it on social media. Cat, get off. Yeah, but it is what it is, you know, and I'm not ready to get on here and speak on the morals of anybody. I just, you know, wanted to make this video, but cats seem to perpetuate this lie that, you know, Mexicans are allowed to snitch on blacks, which is like, you know, you don't have bad apples in every organization. It just goes without saying that the SNY yards is full of individuals that couldn't handle their business on the main line. And though, you know, it may be more stringent when it comes to the S or the double S for the people that may be more up on that terminology, at the end of the day, this dude is a walking contradiction, because 1 minute dude's a crib, you see him in his thing, he all blued up, throwing up C's, and then they should know he's from Hawthorne, Piru, and then he's in bad standing with them because, you know, whatever situation he was in, so he gets smacked up on that and ran up out the, you know, the out his turf, and then now he's banging Compton, and he's constantly saying on Piru. It's funny because, you know, it's like you know, it's just funny, like, you know what I mean? That maybe it's because, you know, Bloody Mary, when she said the Caesar, you know, with the on the back, like, I'm not here to talk about that, because, you know, this ain't about bagging on wax. It's just simply to point out the fact that this dude, nothing that he says can be trusted. And it's just like, I know he's just basically regurgitating what somebody else says, which the cats that were saying that are now irrelevant anyway, and they're hiding up under rocks. One dude, his brother was a known pedophile, and it's just like, it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and yeah, well, you know, we don't need to mention names. Everybody already know who this cat is. He hasn't been nothing since, you know, Easy passed away. But I digress on that. But this whole thing is to address this dude and anybody that may think it along those lines. Like I said, in every organization, every faction, whatever, you have individuals just really not about their business, and they always fold in the end. But you can't go out of your way to say a whole race is allowed to do because you're of a different race, which I said, it goes without saying, dog. There's a lot of cats that got homies that are no good, and it always falls up on a whole nother race to handle what you refuse to handle, because those are your so-called homeboys. The reason I say this dude is a walking contradiction, because in a prior video, this dude said himself, that's why I like the Southern program, because these dudes are solid. They check paperwork, they do this, they run backgrounds, they do this, they did that, they're about their business. And then when he gets called out by a dude that's in question himself, you can't keep saying, dude, this dude Gface is a Sureño. Sureños don't mess with trash. You mess with whack, you might as well fall in the same category. The whole reason I don't get on here and speak about Gface, even when supposed paperwork was floating around, because it's none of my business. I'm not chasing dude down to go put him in the dirt. It's not my business. I know a gang of fools from his neighborhood, and I know a gang of fools from Armenian Power, and whether he was from there before, it don't matter. I'm not here to check his credentials. I'm not running. You know what, it remind me, like when I was working sober living, which hopefully I should be working another sober living job soon, but I never went into anybody's background, and anybody that wanted to talk about their background really didn't get into it because I really didn't care. Because at the end of the day, if they get to saying the wrong thing, then I fall under, you know what I'm saying? But it goes without saying. So I chose to avoid it. Like I'm not there to be their friends. I'm there to help them get to the next level and possibly avoid doing drugs again, you know what I mean? Or a lot of people I know overdose off fentanyl, and I'm trying to avoid that. So that's what I'm there for. I'm not there to be friends or to be overly inquisitive about where they came from and what they've did. I don't care if they were murdered. Who cares? It's none of my business. You're there for substance abuse. That's why you go ahead and pee in this cup. Make sure you pee in this cup. Here's your pills. Take your pills. That thing. Other than that, you know, supervise whatever. I don't focus on that. That's, you know, they had the one thing in LA where a lot of fools go that are no good, but people don't get involved, like as far as like asking them unless they know them by heart, you know what I mean? But like I said, I digress. The only reason I'm on here is to talk about this fool Snoopy badass, and I'm just gonna say, like, you should just really fall back and stop calling Gface a Sureño. I don't know what he is, you know what I mean? Like I said, nobody worry about this, whatever, you know. He is who he is, and we are who we are, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, dude. And he may not know me, but I don't care. Like I said, I know a gang from White Fence, and I know a gang for Armenian Power. I'm not running this dude's, but you can't get around it, dude. If you mess with Whack 100, you're basically trash yourself, and people could take it how they want it. That's just real. Like, I'm not gonna mess with Whack knowing that I'm from the South. Like, I'm not gonna do that knowing that my credibility is on the line. I'm not gonna do that, and he can't give me enough money to do that, because at the end of the day, I'd rather go to sleep sound and not worried about fools out to get me, except if it's like some hood stuff. But I'm not worried about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on a whole different page. So with that being said, man, Snoopy badass, just fall back, bro. Like, 1 minute the homies are overly solid and they check paperwork, and the blacks don't check paperwork, and they ain't really, you know, the blacks ain't really on their business, but the Sureños are all on their business. Like, that's cool. Like, write it if you have to. You know what I mean? That's cool. You know, you stating facts. Like, paperwork, it goes without saying. Don't need to be on social media, but it goes without saying. But don't downplay your own, and then, you know, in order to boost up the homies, and then turn around and say the homies got room to rat because you're a different race. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's either you're real about it or you're not, you know what I mean? But you can't fight two wars. Don't fight the homies on one front and then be fighting your own people on the, then you have nowhere to go. I mean, you're not white, so you can't go there. The next, you know, you're gonna be talking good about the skinheads, like, yeah, you know who, you know, and then come back and I see you black dude with lightning bolts on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just yeah. And to Gface, to you, dog, I don't know who you are, dog. I don't know who you know or whatever, but we both know, dog, that hanging with Whack 100 ain't a good thing, dog. Like, it ain't a good thing. But like I said, maybe dudes that you deal with may be just inclined to let it go. But yeah, I would distance myself from Whack. But like I said, that's on you, dog. You're a truck driver now. Like, you ain't out there, you know, I seen you mess with Swifty Blue, like, so you're not out there like that. But and no shot at Swifty. Like I said, dude does his own thing, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, dog. Like, there's no compromise on that, dog. You don't deal with trash ever. You know what I mean? And you know the saying, dog. If you deal with trash, you become trash yourself. But like I said, there's certain allegations you're already dealing with yourself, pushing to the side because supposedly they have no merit, and it's just fools hating on you. But then you turn around and you deal with Whack, and it kind of now you make fools get stuck in between a hard place. Do you believe the homie, give them the benefit of the doubt, or for them to bring up the pictures that look exactly like you throwing up AP, but now you're from White Fence? Well, like I told you, I know fools from White Fence, so you can talk to them and then talk to them, whatever. But just be smart, dog. Just distance yourself from Whack. Take the scrutiny off yourself, and I guarantee you, life will be a lot easier. Life will be a lot easier. But yeah, Snoopy badass, man. You can't have it both ways. Either ride the homies pito, you know what I mean? I'm sure you know what that is. Or ride your people's pito, or disrespect both and then get caught in the wrong spot. You're in Beaumont or Banning. There's a lot of homies out there that just be careful. You know, I don't. You seem like an alright dude. You may have like a bad record as far as like, you know, there's a lot of weird discrepancies about yourself, but just it ain't worth dying over, dog. Just it ain't worth dying over, dog. You know what I mean? You survived the hood hopping thing, dog, you know, and the transforming. I would just chill, get your money if you can. You know what I mean? Before you run into the wrong one, which is a lot of them out there. That's why I sit at home and just kick it. I hit the streets, but I ain't out there disrespect nobody. Be the same, dog. You live longer. With that being said, I'm your boy Zot, and I will be back with another one. And hopefully I don't gotta address this cat again. Or anybody, you know. And I'm out.
Kneel before Zod!